Vadim will not join.
Okay, so I believe we can probably start. Maybe, Valera, would you like to share your screen? So during this week, we made several updates. Actually, we accepted your pull request, Lars, and Valery made some changes to it. So he fixed some inconsistencies and make it satisfy all the requirements we have for the Magento 2 development. And also he shared an update with you regarding to pay attention on the interesting stuff he used regarding the UI components. Did you have an ability to look that in our Slack chat?
Yeah, I see it, and yeah, and I also review or look at the changes, and everything is fine for me.
Okay, cool. So Valera now will present the part which was merged into mainline and actually go to the develop branch of multi-source inventory project. Valera, we can hear you. You are muted.
Thanks. Today I'm going to show only small changes. First of all, it is region on sources grid. Thanks, Lars. Next. We add region fields processing in the form. Now region is filtered by country. Also, region can be as select or can be as in simple input. Some tricks with UI components. Some update in carriers. And finally, we add 1 minute. Save. And finally, we add system configuration, restore configuration to the configuration sections. Catalog, inventory MSI. These some options. It is related to which shipping method can be assigned to source.
So now
that's all.
So now this checkbox use default shopping methods actually works, and it uses this global configuration which was added to the inventory MSI configuration in the admin panel. Correct?
Yes. If I check yes, use global system configuration, then will be applied options from here.
Mm-hmm. And can you just demonstrate how it works? So can you change the global configuration and see how it was affected the sources?
On source, I can check to yes. On page source, we have not any information. We have only checkbox.
Mm-hmm. But
it is meaning that we use a global configuration. But if you want override for some from some source, I go to source, click no, and I can override some configuration for specific source.
Okay, but if you use the web API, for example, we will get this value updated if the configuration has been changed for the default carriers.
Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm. Do we have this web API test?
No,
Because I don't
we
remember.
don't have any integration, any AP functional test. I'm going to write it on next week, and on next week we start to work on assignment, product assignment from source page.
Mm-hmm. Okay, because I don't remember this web.
I added some tests.
Okay, because I don't remember this web API test to be added, and it looks reasonable to add.
Yes, we need to have more tests. Now we have only one test. It is very small.
Okay, so you can release your screen, I believe. Mm-hmm. Oops. So another stuff we made is that I finished the design of the source to channel mapping, and actually that's the ticket which Vadim grabbed regarding assigning sales channel to some particular stocks, and that stocks are created as an aggregation of the sources. So here I describe the possible interfaces which could be added for this task solution, and here actually there are three main entities. This source, which represents a physical source, so the physical mortal store from the bricks, or it could be a warehouse which has own stock, and that stock using some rules, and actually that rules are linkage, which is provided using the admin panel, aggregated during the indexation process, and we create such entity as a stock status, and we can assign this newly created stocks to the sales channel. So we will implement the only sales channel in the Magento Community Edition, which is a website. But for example, in an Enterprise Edition, it could be customer groups, or for example, if for particular business it would be more appropriated, the sales channel could be used as a country, for example. So here you can see the list of interfaces which should be created, like stock, sales channel, and the sales channel link. And also there is an example how these interfaces would look like for the single stock example, because we need to take into account that most of the installation will still use the single stock Magento, and we now need to introduce the performance degradation for our checkout, for example, and for our category page view and product page view, introducing these new entities. So this is how it looks like, and also we started this work of implementing this design. Yeah. So also we have a consideration, and Eugene Tolika created a pull request about the source selection algorithm, which would be used during the checkout time. And this source selection algorithm supposed to be a minimal shipping cost for customer. So for now, this, if you'll go to the pull request, we can see this pull request open, and there are some discussions in this pull request. So if you are interested in how it's going to be implemented, you can review this pull request, and if you have some particular thoughts about it, you can provide your feedbacks. So
just minor comment here. It's not really about source selection algorithm by itself, but rather extension points to the checkout process, the way how we inject source selection algorithms later. And it's still work in progress, so this is just high-level architectural ideas put into the code. I'm trying to get it work to see what other challenges will there be.
Yeah, definitely. So actually, here you can actually have some experience, and you can watch how Magento core developers are discovering and investigating their Magento architecture and how we actually making the changes for our core APIs, and what consideration are made at this time. So it could be pretty useful to look through this pull request and look through all the comments we have here, because it is actually usually we have this just internally, but now we are making it externally and showing to you how actually the work is done under the hood of in Magento core team. So this is the progress for this week. For now, we are working for product assignment on the sources, and actually this part of work is being done by Valera, and I believe that would be presented at the end of next week on a next weekly demo. So we will provide an ability of assigning product to sources, and we will have an update of the quantity, so that would be pretty interesting. We will add look and feel and admin UI for this as well, and we will try to update our current web API, so the stock item API, to be aligned with new concept, so make it work for new inventory. So Lars, do you have any question for us?
Currently not. I will take a look at the pull request and take a look at the discussions about the architecture, and yeah, but not current questions.
Okay, got it. And do you know any update from Vadim, because he's not showing up for several days, and maybe you know whether he has some time for MSI development on a next week or maybe on coming weekend?
Currently not. Vadim and me, we're currently in an internal project, and we have not many time to contribute. I will only update it for this week and next week, and then I hope I can join after this 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I got you. But anyway, you can tell Vadim that if he has some time, he can ping me or Valery and continue work on the task for sales channel assignment, because he wanted to work on it, and as I know, he also started to work on this task.
Okay, I will tell him, and but I think currently it's not possible.
Mm-hmm.
But I hope next time.
Okay. Okay, so if you don't have any other question, we can we're still available, and you can ping us and ask any question. But if there is no any question, we can finish our current meeting and see you next time on the next week.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Have a nice day.